Alright, so here are the recons for the 655 average. So here's the first scramble. Yeah. Okay, so basically what I did was, so I started off, so I'm doing yellow cross here. What I noticed is when I put this edge in, this edge gets solved. And I have this edge already solved. This one's one move away, but we won't worry about that for now. And then we have this edge, which can be just basically after this one is solved, we can do a DRD prime. But we have this corner as well, and that like inserts super easily with this edge like right here. So what that'll do is make a really easy X cross, and we have a free pair basically. So we do like kind of a wide D move, then just insert it with the U2. I don't know why I did it with U2, usually I do that, but it doesn't really matter. There's kind of a nice thing you can do here, but I didn't do it, and it probably wouldn't have been better anyways. You could do like that, but yeah. And then, so I just did this pair. Then this pair is pretty easy, and you can tell that you should do a sledge, right? Like right after you do that. I wouldn't say that was the best option, but it's what I did. So what I should have done here is like that VLS, and that gives me a G perm instead of like ZBLL, which takes longer to recognize. But I think just the kind of the pressure of getting a OLL skill would have been a little and it probably wouldn't have been great for my time. But last layer took up half the solve for me anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, anyways, the ZBLL, you do an anti-soon, then a U prime, a back anti-soon, then a U prime, then a anti-soon. So yeah, that's the first solve. So here's the next solve. It's another nice like yellow double X cross basically. Or at least I planned cross plus 2 in it. So F2, D prime, F prime. You'll notice. So basically, you notice this right here is solved. So this edge right here is solved, and this block right here is also solved. And basically, what you can kind of see is like F2, D prime, F prime. Puts like these two and like one move away, and then D prime puts them in, and then an R prime would solve this cross edge. But you don't immediately do the R prime, you do a U prime, then an R prime. Because what you essentially have is this F2L pair, which you just solve like that. So then after that, you just kind of insert the last cross edge. I'm sure there was something like interesting I could have done here, like maybe like that. I'll look into that. But right here, I just rotated that 5 mover, U2, insert that pair. Then I have a really nice OLL here, which I could have technically canceled into, but that doesn't really matter considering I did a little canceling from the OLL into the PLL. So I did the insert, did the OLL, and then right here I knew like right away it was going to be V perm. Like I saw like this and this block, and then this line is just complete mess. So I was just like, okay, I know it's V perm. And like I might have had like a bit of experience too with like just this case in general, because I think I did see like this opposite, right? I just knew it was going to be V perm. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. Experience plus a little bit of intuition kind of helped with that. So then you just cancel into the V perm. I use them with the rotation, and then just AUF, and then you're done. So here's the third scramble. So this, I did something really interesting. So I did, basically from here, I notice, okay, this is kind of a pseudo cross kind of block. Bend cross is what it's typically called. And then this edge is also like one move away from bend cross, basically. And this one is solved, which is what makes it actually bend cross, not like H perm cross. But you'll see what I'm doing here. So I planned cross plus 2 here as well, because it was just really easy. So U M prime, I think I did it like that anyways, but yeah. And then U prime R prime FR solves basically a bend cross, or bend X cross, I guess, because like X cross, but also these two edges are swapped. But you'll see what you can do is you can either influence F2L pairs by doing M2, U2, M2, or you can influence your last layer. And I chose, because I had this pair, I have 12 pairs, so then that gives you a free pair. Right here, then right here I did, so I had 2 free pairs here, right? So when you have 2 free pairs, one of them split and one of them not being split, you always, no exceptions, do the split pair, because that just preserves the built pair. If I had not done that, I probably would have gotten a better last layer, but anyways, wait, cut. So from here, insert that. I could have like canceled in the sledge or something, but that wouldn't have like really been that much better, I guess. I don't think so. I just kind of inserted it like normally. Then I noticed I had this OLL. Instead of doing this OG, which probably would have been better, I did this case, and then G-perm. The G-perm was super locky, but I ended up getting a 6.5 on it anyway. So yeah. So the next solve was a 7.2. I kind of messed up on like what totally should have been like the best solve of the average, but I digress. But even then I did the kind of, I don't want to call this solution obnoxious, but like, come on. It was a little too complicated for its own sake. So right here, pretty easy L across. R prime, F, R, R prime, like white R prime. So like what you would normally do, what a probably better keeper than me would do, is F. I'm probably going to like this pair or something. But nope, I decided, hey, this pair is kind of made. But I kind of did that like in inspection, so yeah. And then the first thing you would notice right here is like this pair, right? Nope, I did this pair. And then this pair. And then that pair. An OLL, and then a Y perm. So let me just show you real quick what I should have done. So from here, this pair is pretty obvious, right? Then right here, going back to our split pair versus built pair thing from last solve, you do that, then you do that, then you get this OLL. There's a lot of blocks for this OLL, right? You get a J perm, no AUF. So that probably could have been either like the best solve of the average or like PR single, maybe. Like that's totally like within reason, and I would have probably gotten like, yeah, I think if I did get my best solve on that, that would have been like a 6.3 average. But it's fine because what I did end up getting was like perfectly okay in my book. So not gonna complain. I'm not complaining. But yeah. Okay. Next solve. Last solve. And I guess I should explain why it was the worst solve, because basically I did like a Y perm and I was going to like do a U prime, like, but like I kind of like locked up a bit for some reason. I guess I did that. I just dropped the cube and yeah, it was a whole mess, but it would have been 7.2 and it was enough. So it's all right. I bounced back. So then for the solve, this is the last solve, 6.8. I was really nervous, so instead of going with like a fancy solution that I was gonna mess out with like weird finger tricks, no, I just went completely simple here and just decided to spam turn, and it worked. So U prime R2 kind of builds this. Don't worry, I'm not doing bang cross. D R prime D2 R D prime builds a cross, right? That is a free pair that was gonna be preserved like the entire time. R prime U R U. Instead of doing like keyhole, which probably would have been better for this case, like, way better actually. I just did that because it's the first thing I saw, and I knew I could turn fast on it, so I did it. Then this pair, spammable, like, and then really easy to look at for this pair. So I did that. U2, RU. I think I was like trying to do like that, which would have been decent, but I just RU, U prime, R prime. This OLL, U, T perm, and then 6.8, and then the reaction that ensues, like, nearly killed me, because what if I tripped when I was running across the entire room? But hey, we are coolin'. Yeah, that's basically about it for my average. The first, like, 3 solves were all, like, under 50 moves and, like, under 8 TPS. So, if I just, like, turn better, yeah, sub 6 will happen, probably. But yeah, I think it was pretty good average. It was a pretty good average. I missed like one easy solution on like the one solve, but like I wouldn't have seen that really. So yeah, like, yeah, I don't know why I even started with that start in the first place, but it worked, I guess, despite the mishap at the end. But yeah, I don't really know if I have any more thoughts on the average, honestly. Yeah, I got nothing really.